Hello everyone, this is suhas suryavamshi and this is my critical reflection for my AS level media studies. So let's start with the first question. How does your product use or challenge conventions and how does it represent social groups or issues? Firstly, I decided I wanted to do a survey to know what people like. This helped me decide a genre for my film. In the survey, there were around 40 people answering, and for one question where I asked for their favorite genre, it was a tie between horror and comedy. I decided I wanted to mix both and get the best out of both worlds. For this, I followed a set procedure with researching about the genre. I watched multiple films. Some of them were Shutter Island, Ghost Stories, and Delhi 6. I also watched a web series called Panchayat. All these combined helped me write the script for my film. For the location, it had to be a village. I went around multiple villages and towns before I decided on one. For the ghost scene, I found a tree which was overgrown, indicating that there were no humans in that area for a long time. There were also no houses nearby, adding more to the convention of humans not being around. I also added disclaimers at the start of the film to help build a sense of seriousness, as it was a horror film and I wanted the audience to know what they were getting into. For the social groups, I wanted to mainly showcase villages and farmers as they are quite underrepresented in India. I feel they deserve more attention from people as they are one of the greatest boosters to India's economy. I wanted to show how life was very different in a village compared to a city. I wanted to highlight the differences so people are more aware, especially for the younger generation. As I'm part of a younger generation, before researching for the film and before watching a show like Panchayat, I didn't have that great of an idea about villages and especially farmers. So it will help build a lot of awareness. I also wanted to touch upon the brotherhood in villages. In the film, you can see the main character leaving without paying at the tea stall. I really wanted to show how people have not lost their humanity and how for them everything is not about money. They still care about people and will always help you if you need it. Let's move on to the second question now. How does your product engage with audiences and how would it be distributed as a real media text? So my film has a lot of interesting ideas thrown at the audience. It keeps having impactful moments thrown at them to keep them engaged. The scene with the ghost, for example, helps build curiosity and make sure the audience is still interested. There are multiple impact shots taken to help build tension and keep the audience on their toes. I used jump cuts to show how the protagonist has traveled quite far from the tea stall. It adds to how he is going further away to an isolated area. There was also a sudden change in tone when the protagonist cycles from the tea stall to the tree. As soon as he arrives at the tree, the mood shifts and everyone becomes alert. So they know something is going to happen soon. There's like that anticipation shot. And the music also changes. As at the beginning, the music is very easygoing and quite optimistic. And it's like the calm before the storm. As soon as the ghost appears, the music shifts. It's more sinister and helps increase the tension. And for how it will be distributed, mainly I want my movie to be released through the Indian subcontinent as it will help people understand villages more and also build awareness. I would like a trailer at the start and market it online. I would like to make a post on social media, as social media is where all the younger generation is on. There's nobody who's not on social media today, and they'll get to know the movie really well with that. Obviously, a trailer on YouTube is a given because a lot of people also get to know about movies through YouTube, and it will also help target an older generation. And I also would like to advertise my film on news channels as it will help me target an older generation of audience who are not really active on social media. For example, for my film, I want to advertise it on India TV, News 18 India, and Aaj Tak, as they're one of the biggest news channels in the country. Now, for the third question. How did your production skills develop throughout this project? I learned a lot on my journey while filming this film. At the beginning, I feel I made a lot of mistakes and was not able to make that great progress. But slowly over time, I learned how to manage things and got my desired outcome. Now I feel if I try to make a film again, I'm much more prepared and I know what exactly to do and when to do it. Firstly, with the storyboard, for example, I was really unsure what I wanted to put in it because I thought initially it's similar to a comic strip because they have similar designs, but I was wrong because a storyboard mainly focused on the shot and the scene. There was no emphasis on the dialogue at all. A comic strip really relied on a dialogue. But as after I drawing a few storyboards, I realized how fun it was and how important also it was to draw one. Then I focused a lot on cinematography as it is absolutely essential for a good film. I had a rough idea on how to focus and what to focus, but I did not know much about camera angles and framing also. Learning about angles and framing really helped me improve my film. Then I knew where exactly I should position the actors, the lights, and also the camera. Of course, it didn't happen on my first try, but with each try, it helped me improve my shot selections and really made my film look better. For the ghost scene, I tried creating a fog effect. Sadly, it was not very feasible, and I decided to cancel that shot. I also tried incorporating a shot of the protagonist from the front while he was cycling. I tried using a scooter to be ahead and shoot the shot. Sadly, it did not turn out great, and I decided to remove it as well. Taking decisions like that was really important as the director. As being the director, I am the one who takes the final call, and I'm the one who decides whether we're going to do it or not. I feel my directing skills improved a lot, and I really understood what goes through a director's head when he asks for a redo. He has a plan in their head and they have envisioned it really well. And if it's not delivered, you're going to have to do a redo. I really think after shooting, I can think more creatively and also more effectively. Now, for the final question, how did you integrate technologies, software, hardware, and online in this project? Firstly, for my film, I decided Adobe Premiere Pro will be my editing tool. It was something I'm very familiar with and I had a lot of experience using. I used Premiere Pro for combining all the files and sequencing my movie properly. I used it to also match the audio to the visuals. There was a purple hue in the ghost scene, which I removed by using a masking tool. I also changed the color grade to green so that it follows a convention of a night vision of sorts. I also added a circular effect to make the audience focus on the ghost rather than the background. I used motion blur on the ghost scene to show how Anthony was not able to comprehend the ghost completely. He was in a state of shock and was feeling like he was seeing things. The first few shots of the film were in slow motion to match the easygoing music. The pacing shifts to normal when Anthony starts cycling. Adobe Premiere Pro really helped me manage all my edits properly, and it is one of the best editing softwares out there. For the music, I decided I was going to use Pixabay. It was a free software from which I could download all my audio files. I downloaded around 4 non-copyrighted music files and around 12 to 15 sound effects. I took all these audio files and added them into Premiere Pro. There I did a trial and run until I found the perfect combination matching my... For the titles in my movie, I used Canva and made the title. I'm quite familiar with Canva and have used it for around the past 4 years. I made the titles and downloaded it as a JPEG file and later uploaded it to Premiere Pro. As I'm filming a mix of comedy and horror, I wanted my titles also to reflect the same. I tried using various fonts before deciding on the final one. I made the title slightly tilted to match the horror theme. And I also experimented with backgrounds and decided to best go for a black background with a white text as it follows the convention. For my title, I decided I wanted to give it a glitch effect for it to match the horror theme. For my script, I used MS Word. Initially, I wanted to try using a template online, but it was not really working well. So I decided I'm just going to type it on MS Word. And for my shortlist, I tried using Excel to create my shortlist, but it was really hard to create a template from scratch. So I took a template from filmsourcing.com and put it into Excel, which helped me make my shortlist much better. It was very organized and neatly done. For my storyboard also, I did a handwritten first, which really helped me put my ideas across. Then I did try putting it onto Word, but it did not work. So I worked on Canva for my final. Then for the camera, I used a Sony A7C camera to film the entire film. Initially, I was using a Nikon D750, but I switched to my Sony A7C camera had also really good color contrast, and as I was filming in the night, the Nikon D70 camera had a really low ISO count compared to the Sony A7C, which helped me get a brighter shot with the Sony A7C. It had really good video optimization. This helped me take great shots with minimal adjustment. I tried shooting my film in 4K, but due to storage issues and my laptop not supporting 4K editing, I decided to film it in 1080p. For the lighting, I used Godox lights for the set. Lights made the environment perfect with just the right amount for my shots. I was inspired by the film Delhi 6 to create a Dutch low shutter speed shot for my film. I felt it really matched the horror theme and added more to the ghost scene. Overall, I'd like to say this journey has been quite fun. I have learnt a lot and I'm really happy with my work. And I really want to say if I film a film again, I feel I'll do much better. This has really taught me what goes behind the scenes and how it is to be a filmmaker. Thank you.